decision to fire, saying the use of deadly force was justified. KITV4's Tom George joins us live with more on that decision. And Tom, Prosecutor Steve Alm wants to take a second look at these kinds of cases, right?
He does, and that's exactly the reason it took months to do this, is because the prosecuting attorney's office wanted to launch its own independent investigation into this case. It's something Prosecutor Alm wants to see happen anytime officers use deadly force. Tense moments in the early morning hours last August in Kalihi. A man identified as Elia Laeli allegedly jumping out from behind a dumpster with a machete and hacking off someone's finger. Officers were called to the scene. Surveillance video shows from there, things escalated fast.
Officer 1 repeated while instructing him to drop the knife. Mr. Laeli ignored those instructions and kept charging at Officer 1.
Now, months later, Prosecutor Steve Alm backing up Officer's account, announcing after his office launched its own investigation, he won't be filing any charges. He also says independent investigations should be the way things are done moving forward.
It's in the best interest for everybody, in the interest of objectivity, to have somebody else do these independent investigations, and that's us.
The union representing officers says it's fine with Alm's plan, even if it's not always a case like this where the police version is backed up.
You know, we stand behind their actions, and we are open to the fact that if the prosecutors want to do their independent investigation concurrently running alongside what HPD is doing, that's perfectly fine also.
It's a process one former Kauai prosecutor wants to see statewide, but says it hasn't happened.
In the process of determining whether those tragedies were crimes, you know, the public really deserves to have every confidence.
Kohler says one thing he hopes to see moving forward is to have that process start earlier instead of waiting months.
Really, from the time that the police shooting takes place, you want to bring in outside investigators. You want to bring them into the scene of the incident at the time, as close to the time that it happens as possible.
Now, we did also hear from Honolulu police about this particular case in Kalihi. They say they applaud Alm's decision not to charge those officers, saying, quote, this incident just one example of how a routine call can turn life-threatening in just seconds. And they also say they're grateful those officers were not seriously hurt. Tom George, KITV4, Island News.